key factor in anal sex that a lot of people are concerned about is the matter of hygiene. Cleanliness is important, yes, but it's also important to remember that stuff happens, and that's okay. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just our bodies doing exactly what they were meant to do. So there are things that you can do ahead of time to make sure that you have little to no mess. First of all, you can set the scene by having everything in one place that you need. So you can put down the towel, you can have some wet wipes on standby, and you can make sure you set up your lube and everything else to be ready to go so that you don't have to run around and get everything that you need. Before engaging in any kind of anal sex, whether it's oral or penetrative, it's good to just take a shower. At the very least, just clean yourself off and start fresh, especially considering that the gastrointestinal system is host to billions of different bacteria, which may vary from one person to the next. So in order to avoid any kind of passing of foreign bacteria or anything that might make another person sick, it's good to just do a quick shower and use a gentle soap and water to wash the area without scrubbing, because you don't want to create any small cuts or anything like that, because the anus is very sensitive. What you can do even before the shower is to just sit on the toilet and make sure that there's nothing there, and your body's going to let you know that you have to go to the bathroom. If you don't feel any sense of urgency, then you probably don't have to go. Again, waste isn't stored in the rectum, it's just like the final waiting room, if you will. So there's not likely to be anything there, but it's good to just sit on the toilet for a little bit, make sure that there's nothing there, and then at that point you can hop in the shower and do a flush. During a flush, you can use a number of different things to put water into the rectum to flush out any remaining traces of fecal matter that might be lingering behind, if that makes you feel comfortable and makes you feel a little bit more cleaned out. The partial flush clears out mainly the rectum, while the full flush clears out a lot of the colon and the lower intestine. The partial will take between 10 and 30 minutes. A full flush will take between 30 minutes and 2 hours. The tools that you can use for a full or partial flush are a shower hose, an enema bag, or an enema bowl. The shower hose is going to be the most efficient, it's going to save you the most time, and it's easy to use. An enema bowl and bag are the most economical options. It's important that you use a gentle pressure. So let's say if you're squirting water out of either a hose or a bag or a bowl, that it's only going about 5 inches into the air, that's how you know that it's about a moderate amount of pressure that you need. Also make sure that you're not using water that's too hot or too cold. Lukewarm should be just fine. If you use too hot, you can scald yourself. You don't want that. If the water's too cold, it can cause cramp. You don't want that either. If you're doing a partial flush, then you want to allow 5 seconds for water to fill your rectum. If you're doing a full flush, then you want to allow 30 seconds to fill both your rectum and your colon and lower intestine. Keep in mind that you may have to repeat this process of filling and emptying, but that's fine, that's normal, it's okay for you to do that. You would just continue to flush through to your comfort level, cycle through a couple of times to make sure that the water is clear and that there's no smell coming out. Keep in mind also that you don't have to insert the hose or the penetrative part of the enema bowl or bag too far into the anus or rectum. You can put it in just past the tip to make sure that the water is getting inside, but you don't have to put it all the way in. It's not necessary. You can perform a flush either on the toilet or in the shower. If you do it in the shower, then remove the cover over the drain so that any waste can easily go down the shower. And just clean out the tub when you're done. You should be good to go. If you feel any cramping after you've done a flush, then that means that you either have water still trapped or maybe air, or maybe you used water that was probably the wrong temperature. If it happens to be gas or water, then an easy way to get it out is to manually stimulate your gut or to lay on your side and allow water or the air to come out on its own. So here's another tip. If you know you're going to be the bottom in an anal sex encounter, then you can avoid eating, especially anything fibrous, over the next couple of hours, or at least 2 hours before you know that you're going to be participating in any